Hello, today we are going to talk about expressions, equations, and inequalities. We're going to look at some similarities and differences between the three. Well, first let's start with an expression. Basically, it's a mathematical phrase that will contain numbers, operations, and or variables. Now remember, operations means addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And below you see a few examples of some expressions. It's important to know that expressions can be evaluated or simplified, but they cannot be solved. So an example of evaluating an expression, if the expression 5 times x minus 2 was given to us and we were told the value of x, in this case 10, we could substitute a 10 for the x. We know that 5 times 10 is 50. 50 minus 2 would give us a solution of 48. So as you can see, you can evaluate an expression. We've also learned that expressions can be simplified. 5w minus 2w, we've learned, simplifies to 3w. Now, I do want us to discuss equations. An equation is simply a mathematical sentence that states two expressions as being equal to each other. And below you see a couple of expressions. We have 3 plus x plus 2 set equal to 9. And 3x plus 4 is equal to 16. A few things to know about equations is that there will be an equal sign between the two expressions stating that they are equivalent. It's important to know that equations can be solved. So unlike expressions, we can solve an equation. And an equation will have one solution. So for example, in this equation, 2 times x equals 6, there's only one solution. There's only one value that x could be in order to make this statement true. So one way to look at equations is kind of like a balancing scale, where the two sides of the equal sign are equal to each other. Therefore, in this case, x would have to be 3 in order to keep that scale equal. The last thing I want to talk about today is inequalities. And an inequality is simply a mathematical sentence that states one expression is greater than or less than the other expression. So you're going to have a statement with two expressions in it, but one expression is going to have more value than the other. And you see a couple of examples of inequalities listed here below. It is important to know that in an inequality, you will have inequality signs. So that's greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So either one of these inequality symbols will be in an inequality. It's also important to know that inequalities, just like equations, can be solved. But an inequality is going to have multiple solutions, many solutions. Therefore, we call their answers written in a solution set. So for an example, we have x is less than or equal to 20, where there are many, many possible solutions that x could be in order to make this statement true. It could be 20. Another value that is less than or equal to 20 would be 19. Then we have 18. So forth and so on. So all of these would be inside brackets, and this is what we would call a solution set for this particular inequality.